Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is November the 16th, 2018. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today on the Parenting Edition, we're going to talk about planning. If you're accessing our podcast through any of our providers, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Spreaker, please subscribe so you can get a notification when we make new ones available. If you'd like to listen to any old podcasts or get a copy of our book, Real-Esteem, Finding Your Identity in Christ, please visit us at enith.com, EYNIITH.com. How involved are you in your children's planning for the future? Do you plan all of their events? Do you schedule all of their appointments? Do you make everything happen for them? Or are they involved in the planning process? Do they know what's going on? Do they know what they need to do? We had to fill out some forms for our son who's planning on going off to school next year, and we were trying to, get everything together. And, I had finished the application and things that we were working on, and I realized I only asked him a few questions. He wasn't really completely involved. I was doing most of the work for him. So I realized that I need to start taking time out to make sure he's doing the majority of the work so he has a feel and an understanding for what he's doing, why he's doing it, and how it's going to benefit him in the future. So today we're going to talk about planning in the sense of helping your kids plan their future. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." Yes, we do want to teach our children how to make an income in life and to be a productive citizen and to be a good worker or whatnot, whether they're an entrepreneur, whether they are a business owner, whether they are working somewhere in a company, whether they're a chef, whatever their desire is that they dream to become, that needs to be done with planning. They need to know what the steps are, the processes to get there. But in that process, they have to remember not to leave God out. One of our main goals as a parent is to make sure we teach our children how to trust God by trusting God. In other words, they not only hear what we say, but they actually see what we do based on what we say. And I know I'm using these words back and forth over and over again, but the point is, what they see, if they see what you say in action, it's easier for them to follow and do the same. They pick up our bad habits also, so why not spend more time trying to develop good habits so that they will see that this leads to abundance, that this mistake might lead to poverty. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." Not to say that some of your plans that you come up with are not going to work, but when you commit them to the Lord, you've got extra help. You've got the Lord actually backing up what you're doing, especially if you've prayed and asked him, "What should I do?" And then you make your plans. That's always better. It's always better to go ahead and consult him first and find out, what is a good idea. I'm finding more and more the more I take those little steps of faith and just listen to God, and I wake up and what I heard in my sleep was interesting, and I kind of go for it just to see what might occur. Amazing things happen when I do that. When I go and sit down and write up my thoughts based on my opinions and how I feel about certain things, that doesn't always work out. Usually I end up disappointed. So I'm not saying that I'm always happy and excited with what I'm being asked to do. What I am saying is that it always seems to work out in some form or fashion. Whether I got what I wanted or not is not always the end goal to whether I made a good plan. It's whether what I've done accomplished what it needed to, whether someone else was benefiting from this and getting help, or I was able to, have a good heart and smile and help somebody out where I didn't really get anything physically in return, but I really felt good about taking care of and helping someone else. So a lot of the things that we are asked to do, they have conditions attached to them, and God's not just concerned. He's concerned about you, but he's not just concerned about you. He's concerned about you and everyone else. He wishes that no one will perish. So if you give your plans to the Lord, of course, he's going to plug in. It's going to be his plan. It's going to be his goals, the things that he wants to accomplish. You may not know all the time that you are helping someone else, or that the thing that God's asking you to do is really going to go bless someone else. You may just be trying to do what God asked you to do. Finally, Luke 14:28 says, "For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?" Your goal should always be to try to plan out what you can. Just don't base it solely on your opinions, your thoughts, your beliefs, your personal experiences, all the negative experiences you've had. Don't base your plan off of that. Base your plan off of what God said you can do, what you can be. Look to the hills from which cometh your help. Trust him with something as opposed to trusting yourself and your own abilities. Try it and see what comes of it. And I bet if you do it multiple times and you see a great benefit from trusting God as opposed to just trusting yourself, I bet you would succeed more in life if you just give your plans to him and let him guide you. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.